Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. This is my new Springfield Army Squad Scout rifle. Colonel Jeff Cooper, the perfecter, the inventor of the modern technique of defensive pistol craft, as he called it, and a biggest fan and proponent of the 1911 .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun, also was the not the creator necessarily, but the biggest proponent of the scout rifle concept. Now his idea, as illustrated by many versions nowadays of scouts rifles, was a bolt action, short overall length, lightweight, dangerous game rifle with a substantial cartridge that could take down any game in North America. So he chose .308 because it'll pretty much kill any damn thing that walks, breathes, eats, or takes a dump here on the North American continent, including the mighty grizzly bear and Kodiak variant, the brown bear up in Alaska. This is not true to that concept because it is a semi-automatic rifle. However, it's close enough for us to use it. It is for a military and or police application. Let's talk about what the scout rifle concept is that he noted in his book, Art of the Rifle. And if you do not have that book, I highly recommend it. I have been recommending it for years. And when James Yeager was taking up the scout rifle concept, he went to Gunsight, and he went through their class on the scout rifle there, and he purchases his own type of scout rifle. I don't remember if his was the Savage or the Mossberg, but Savage, Mossberg, of course Ruger, who came out with the first real iteration of the scout rifle here in the United States, and of course Steyr. I believe it was Steyr. They have the most correct version of the scout rifle that incorporated everything that he came up with. But here's what his book, what he had to say on this subject. .308 Winchester, about 36 inches long overall length and less than 7 pounds, with a ghost ring rear sight. Not necessarily an aperture, but a ghost ring, an aperture with a humongous hole in the center, so you only had a tiny bit of metal around it, so it pretty much disappears. You have a slight little shade of it, shadow of it, but that's all. So when you look through it, you pretty much just and it has a square front post sight that is he recommended black. But in this modern day and age, if you can have one with a night sight or a fiber optic, that'd be your best bet. But here's the deal. He absolutely said, do not use a gold front sight. Back in the day with the old heavy rifles, they didn't have proper sights on. They had a gold bead or a gold blade. And he said, you point that at a lion or a tiger, not a tiger, a lion or a certain types of gazelle and so forth, their coat, even probably a white-tailed deer here in the United States, the gold color would blend right in with their fur, their coat. So that was a bad idea, he said, especially on dangerous games such as a lion. You lose your front sight and you're not sure if you've got it on the lion, and Mr. Lion eats your butt. Of course, in his original concept, it would have been a bolt-action rifle. Nowadays you have the Marlin .308. It's using a Hornady ammunition, the .308 lever round that they've got out. It's not a true Winchester, but it's a .308 nonetheless, something of that nature. That would be perfect for the scout concept. Number two, a synthetic stock, equivalent strength and weather resistant, can be made to be non-skid. In other words, it's not smooth, it's not slick. That's one of the problems with this GI wooden stock. It's very smooth. If your hands are dry or tired, it's hard to grip the rifle and pick it up and so forth. The new synthetic stocks like this plastic one that came with this rifle, it has it made into it. It's checkering that's made into the stock. One problem though, even though it's weather resistant and so forth, it is the type of plastic, it will twist. And I have shot some video already of that where you can see it actually twisting. This may be hard for you to see on here. I'm not sure how the camera's gonna pick this up, but if you grab it up here at the very front and you turn, you see it flexing? Watch it right here. It twists, okay? Your accuracy is gonna be crap because of that. It will move and twist when you fire the weapon. So if you buy it from the factory and you've got this stock here, your accuracy is gonna be crap because it twists. This steel band right here at the very front of the stock system, it is there for a reason. Okay, here's a rifle. You see this band right here? You see that gap? That's not good. When you've got a gap between this band and that ferrule right there that wraps around the front of the stock, that's where your accuracy turns to crap. Okay, so this is not a tight fit. It actually needs to be shimmed up so that this is in contact with that, and there your accuracy will improve quite a bit. The gas system on this thing, you can turn it off just like on a full-size rifle. However, on the 16-inch SOCOM, this is fake. It is hard. It is permanent. That does not work at all. You cannot turn the gas off on it. But there's a good detail shot of the muzzle brake and the front sight and the gas system, the gas plug, as well as your valve to turn it on and off. And I guarantee this damn thing ain't focusing on it. But there's your little short section of rail, and it's bolted down with 6 screws, I think it is. That is not good for accuracy. The original GI nylon stock is lightweight. It is stiffer, but even it still twists a very tiny bit. That is not good for long range accuracy. You can buy modified versions of this stock that have been glass bedded and so forth, but they're heavier, but they're also very stiff. They won't twist. The wooden stock does not twist at all, not that I can detect with my naked eye. The only problem with it though is it's also smooth. They didn't put any checkering in it. So what I did is I just took skateboard tape and wrapped around it, and you got a non-skid surface now. I put a piece here that wrapped around. There's actually 3 or 4 pieces here on both sides, so that the grip, you know, it's non-skid, non-slip, and so forth. And so up here at the front. Now on this rifle, you don't want to do this crazy way up here, because if you do, you're covering a gas port, and when you fire it, your finger's going to pay the price, I promise you. So right up here would be as far forward as you would want to grab it. I had a viewer ask if the stock had the 2 holes. I've already shot a section of video. I'll throw that in right here. All right, figured I'd put it on video. Oh, if I don't dump my coffee down there, my beautiful 1911 cup. These are flathead screws. So standard flathead will work. One that is perfectly fitted would be best, but see how loose that one's already got. That damn screw must be a mile long. I think I got it all the way. Oh, and by the way, I got 3 mags with it. They were all Springfield Armory. I thought they'd be cheap Pro Mag or something, but the guy, apparently when he bought it brand new, he actually sent off and got those 3 mags for free. He could have got a free scope mount too, depending on which model he bought, but this one here has got one built in it. Why would you why would you buy a scope mount for it? Okay, and it does. See, the bottom one's really, really long. The top one's not as long. And of course, that dropped out. But you can see it's got the holes in the base. And that would be for your oiler and grease tube. The GI ones. Oh, that's what the sling swivel looks like. It's got a screw hole in it, and the screw actually, it's machine screw threads. So it actually, the screw actually holds it down. So let's put it back together so we don't lose any of the parts. We'll start with the top one because it's a lot shorter. Won't take it, and the threads are much more aggressive, quite a bit more aggressive. Got to get her tight. Oh, and the rubber butt pad that came with the rifle is very soft. It's very tactile. Problem with that is it hangs up on every damn thing. I'd have to, if I were to use this stock, I would have to do like Nothing Fancy recommends, and I'd have to use some electrical tape or something of that nature and tape around it so it wouldn't stick to every damn thing inside. Because trying to get it to your shoulder, it'll snag on your clothes so easy it ain't even funny. Damn screw. Well, I thought I had started it, and apparently not. Aha! I had it too far in, so now I've got it started. And she's tightening right on up. The top one you don't want to get down and gorilla tight because you can easily strip the inside the damn stock out. Just snug. But yeah, it's got the holes, but that damn butt plate is so tacky. It's ridiculous. Now this in here is a hard rubber that I replaced the steel one with when I put it on. I actually gave it to a preacher man I met at the gun range, and he had an M25, but he was talking about he wanted it mil spec, and I said, well, the big thing is they didn't have a rubber recoil pad. You don't need one on this rifle. I said, that's the only thing wrong with it. And I said, I got one at the house that's just sitting on the stock, ain't doing nothing with it. Would you like to have it? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay. So I sent it to him, and I don't regret that, but at the same time, I will have a steel one for this, and whichever stock I decide to use. Probably the GI one, because it flexes a tiny bit, but not near as bad as that one there. And it's not cracked anywhere. I need to give it another camo paint job before I put the rifle in it. And I have to shave that down just a little bit so that the Picatinny rail section from that satellite will work fine on it. And this here, I don't know if you can see it, it's textured. That is grip tape like you put on a skateboard. I put that on there so when I go to grab the rifle to pick it up, it's easier to do, and so forth. And you can see, like I said earlier, it has the holes. And the wooden one, of course, it has the hole in it. And as, like I said, designed for your GI cleaning kit. Okay, onward and upward. The synthetic stock equals strength, weather resistant, much more so than wood. It will not swell, it will not shrink from moisture in the air or lack thereof, such as out in the desert and so forth. Can be made non-skid, we already demonstrated that. Number 3, an integral retractable bipod. I'll get it out in a minute. Come on now. Everyone has words that throw them for a lulu. None of these stocks have that. Okay, so we're going to have to purchase one that can be added to it. Also, on all of these, there's not a place to attach a bipod to it. On the original M14 E2, which was a fully automatic light machine gun version of the M14. They had one that attached to the gas cylinder. If you want to destroy your accuracy, put something on the damn barrel. You don't want anything touching the barrel to start with. And attaching a damn bipod, it's going to throw the harmonics of the barrel off, and you'll get machine gun accuracy instead of rifle accuracy. So don't do that. Satellite makes a section of Picatinny rail with this front sling swivel that can be attached. It's longer than this, so you'll have to alter your stock just a little bit, relieve it just a touch in order to get that in there. And you'll have to be very damn careful if it's wood, because you can ruin the damn stock. I do not intend on doing that to this one. Probably will do it to this one. And that's the great thing about an M14, M18, ladies and gentlemen. There are tons of accessories out there if you're willing to spend the money after you've already spent. I think this one here listed for $1,800, brand new. I got it very lightly used for $13. Not a bad deal. Number 4, friendly to the shooter, light, short, and handy. Light, short, and handy for a lot of different reasons. Now, this is not a lightweight rifle. It's still going to come in right at 9 pounds. So it's not an M4 carbine. It's not the bolt action rifle. This is not intended strictly for hunting, though it can be used that way. This is designed to be fast handling, to shoot against dangerous game such as Cape buffalo, grizzly bears, freaking well, a freaking moose, damn moose. You in his territory, look at that, it's a ton of damn hurt locker coming at you. If you're in Africa, you got lions, you got tigers, and so forth. This is the type of rifle you would use for that. It has a substantial caliber. It's 30 caliber 308 Winchester, or 7.62 51 millimeter, which you can find worldwide because of the proliferation of the FAL, as well as the SETME and several other rifles out there that NATO had for years and years and years. Next to the AK-47, the FAL was probably the second most prolific rifle in the world until the civilian market in the United States started producing so many AR-15s and AR-10s, and now the AR platform is the most prolific rifle ever made anywhere. This weapon and the Scout concept, as envisioned by Colonel Cooper, excels at the snapshot. So you can shoot with both eyes open at short range when you have come around a bend in a trail or whatever, and there's a dangerous animal there who can kill you and eat you, or an enemy soldier who can shoot and kill you. So it is designed, because of its short overall length, forward mounted optics, to be able to make that snapshot in an instant with both eyes open, so you're not doing the one eye deal like this. But even with one eye open, if you got one good eye and your peripheral vision is fine in that one eye, you still can see. I can see the pool to the left, I can see the porch to the right with one eye. With both eyes, I can see all the way over here. Right about here, I can see my hand coming into view, right in here. So it's more than 180. Yeah, it's designed for that. So, if you decide to purchase a Scout rifle, and the first thing you do is put a variable power scope on the receiver, so you only got 2 or 3 inches of eye relief, you've negated the entire point of having a damn rifle. I mean, it's stupid. I see people do it all the time. You're an idiot, okay? If you need a variable power scope, they make a 2x7 power. The scope that I'm going to purchase, the variable power scope, will be a 2x7 by 32 Scout scope from Burris. Okay, so what that means is the minimum power is 2, the maximum power is 7 magnification, and the objective lens at the front of the scope is 32. So what that means is you can shoot with both eyes open. You can see around the damn scope, So if the target runs past and you lose it in the scope itself, your other eye is open, you can pick it up with it, and then you can reacquire and get right back on target very quickly. The short overall length is easier to maneuver around in close quarters and brush and bushes. We got undergrowth around here, just unbelievable. The damn wild hedges are just ridiculous around here. That would be a situation like that. It has an aperture rear sight. Now in the Scout concept, he did not say an aperture, he said a ghost ring, which is a type of aperture, but the hole that you're looking through is huge, and you only have a thin ring of steel around it, okay, and you just center up your front sight. But basically you'll just see a little outline. You won't see a huge black dot with a white hole in the center you're looking through. It'll be a big ring, but it's more light coming, a lot more light coming through it. But yeah, you definitely want to have iron sights, backup iron sights. And on this one here, unfortunately, it does not have a quick detach mount, and that's one of the downfalls of the setup I have at this moment, because if this red dot goes down, you actually have to have an Allen wrench to take it loose. And you got to take the screws all the way out, and then you got to slide it off. You cannot just pick it up and, loosen it and then take it off. It has to, the screws have to come all the way out of this little Siemens sight, and then you have to slide it all the way off. Now, one good thing about that is it is stout. It is stout. And right now, the guy that owned it before I purchased it, they said he was a retired police officer, and he bought and sold about 50 to 70 guns a year. And they said he doubted he even put a box of ammo through it. For a little bit of powder fouling on the piston, I would have to agree with that, because it's a very tiny amount. Alright folks, let me unload this booger right quick, because an empty weapon is pretty much damn useless. Booger had a damn hold of that thing. Yeah, I've had this one by the bedside since I got it. It just makes my sticker peck out. Come on. Ladies, you may or may not get that joke, but the gentleman shall. Alright. Turn the sight on. Patrolling, whatever. Right there on it. Right there on it. And actually that is too freaking dim, so let's turn it to max. Yeah. Yep. It's heavy up front though. That's one thing about an M14 you might as well know up front. That gas system and all up front is heavy. The AR-15, your recoil spring, your buffer, all in the stock. And then of course your bolt group here, and then all you got going forward is a tube, and they built them originally with a pencil barrel, and they're trying, because they got the new carbon fiber barrels with a steel liner, they're trying to make it where it's even lighter up front. But they say one that's nose heavy swings better, so we shall see. But it handles good. But yeah, right here where it's on my chin, that red dot's centered right up in the sight. So that's about how high I'm gonna need to be to get the proper cheek weld. So I'm gonna have to raise it up, but it will not be on this stock. This is just my Sunday go to meeting kind of stock, I guess. A barbecue gun, I guess would be a better description. But yes, sir. Very fast handling. Just got to practice with it some more. Yeah, I love this thing, man. This thing is gonna be freaking awesome. You 10-4 Roger me. But yeah, that damn that thing is tight. Tight. Gotta love it. Now she's loaded. Safety zone. Sweet. Let's give you guys a view of it from the side. Loving it. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, the scout rifle concept, short barrel, lightweight if possible, and a semi-automatic weapon like this, it's going to be a little heavier, but that's okay. It's still a little bit lighter than the full-length version. Fast handling sights that you can shoot with both eyes open, so you can see through the sight as well as what's around it, and you're not getting lost in the damn high-power scope back here on the back. That's something right there that's always made me ill. Why would you buy a scout rifle if the first thing you're going to do is negate its biggest advantage, which is fast handling, fast target, and sight acquisition at point blank ranges by putting a powerful scope on the rear of it? That's damn stupid. Now the burst scope, you put it on the front. Okay, you got the long eye relief just like you do with this one. It's way out there on the front. It's thin, it's small, it doesn't have a huge objective lens, so you can see your target if it gets out of your view in the scope. And it's got that long eye relief, the unlimited eye relief, versus that little inch, inch and a half to 3 inches back here at the rear. So you gotta have your face right there at the damn scope. Screw that crap. Not my idea of a good time, I'm here to tell you. So, the scout concept. If you got a point guy, this is the type of setup you want him having, so he can really shoot and scoop. Get out, get a mag off, turn and burn. Check out the SAS split. That is a if you're in a militia, that is something you really need to learn. The SAS split. That's one of the things that I have our guys practice, and we may do that for video one day, I don't know. But it's something we should all know how to do, along with a lot of other skills and so forth. But the scout rifle would be the rifle that your point man would carry, or a carbine with a scout type long eye relief scope or red dot, so they're not getting lost in the damn thing at point blank and short range. You know, from me to the camera, from me to the car over here, which is probably, I don't know, 6-7 yards away, you round the bend and there's Mr. Bad Guy, and he sees you, you see him, and you're over here doing this number here in the damn big scope trying to find the guy. You've already lost the damn fight, and he's done shot the shit out of you. So if you don't have a scout optic, run your irons only, and then that way when you get the proper cheek weld, you're on the damn money, you can nail the guy. Okay, and the final thing is sling. A scout rifle is designed for fast handling and fast action, but you want to be able to use a sling that is also fast handling. And on a conventional setup of a rifle like this, you're wanting to find a 1-point ching sling or a 2-point ching sling. I think Galco is the one that owns the rights to manufacture the ching sling. An associate, a friend of Colonel Cooper's, designed it, and it had ball and socket, quick detach hard points built into the rifle and on the ends of the sling. But I'm going to see what we can do, what the options would be to mount a ching sling on this rifle. And if we cannot do that, we're going to come up with something else. But I had I woke up about 5 o'clock this morning, and what came about was an idea on how to build a cheek rest on the materials I have here at home, and I'm going to give it a shot. It's like everything else. Every little thing you do like that will add to your repertoire of experiences in life that could help you in a survival situation or a shit hit the fan scenario. And right now with the coronavirus going on, it just depends on the situation. If food shortage becomes a problem, a lot of truck drivers get sick and they can't roll, whatever, something like that happens, you're going to see chaos from the word go. And a short handling or a short fast handling rifle like this with a fast handling optic will be the way to go. That is the scout rifle concept. Fast handling, short, lightweight, and for a semi-automatic, I mean, it's pretty damn heavy. But for what my purposes are, it'll be just freaking fine. Now, what are some other modifications I intend on doing? Number one, we're probably going to go with the GI stock. As I stated earlier, it is a stiffer stock than the cheesy plastic one. and all the military hardware will mount straight to it. I'm going to buy the steel butt plate. Why? That's another weapon, ladies and gentlemen. You bounce this damn thick rubber off someone's head, it may daze them, it may knock the hell out of them. You may break their freaking neck, but then again, you may not. You bounce that steel butt plate off their head, I'd say that's all she freaking wrote. The modifications, depending on how much room I have, I may have to relieve it in here a tiny bit. I'm going to put a short section of Picatinny rail on the bottom for an angled foregrip that will help with carrying the rifle. I am also going to put at least one piece of short Picatinny rail from Magpul up here on the side somewhere, because I want to be able to have a flashlight on there. And this little Surefire I purchased, what model is this damn thing? It is a 6PX, something like that's all you need, something like that. And here's another thing, I found out they have a flashlight holder for something of this size that you can mount on a section of Picatinny rail. I may be able to mount it because it comes off the rail and it hangs out here off the side. So what I may be able to do is mount it like this. I can't do it on the other side because of the op rod, I don't think. If I can, I will do just that. And then that way I'll have the light, the barrel will not be shadowing it as badly. But we shall see. And of course, a short section of Picatinny rail with the satellite sling swivel that they make up here at the front. And the reason I want to do that is so I can mount a bipod, and I will find the lightest damn bipod I can find. And who knows, I may just damn buy me one of them El Cheapo M16 ones that clamp to the barrel or the gas cylinder, but I doubt it. I damn doubt it. They're probably made out of plastic, and they'll probably melt the first 4 or 5 rounds down the damn barrel. Who knows? 308 detachable box magazine. You can go from a 5-rounder all the way up to a 50-round X Products drum if you so desire. Just depends on how much ammunition on board the rifle you're looking for. Another part of the Scout concept was having on board ammunition resupply, but with a 20-round magazine and mag pouches, I don't think the onboard reload is necessary. Again, that's adding several pounds to the rifle's weight, and carrying that in your arms all day is tiring, to say the damn least. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist and his new M1A Squad Scout with a little Siemens red dot on it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And it's an awesome concept. And if you purchase a rifle that is designed to be a scout, forward mounted optics, ladies and gentlemen, don't be putting a damn scope back here. You defeat the entire purpose of what the damn Squad Scout is all about, or a scout rifle, period. It's not designed for long range. It is designed for that dangerous game right here in your face. Now, does that mean you cannot take a long range shot with it? If you got a 2x7 Burris or the Leupold version, I would say you damn right you can take a longer range shot. But with the cheesy plastic stock it comes in, it's so flexible, you're not going to be very accurate. You can guarantee that. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 and his Springfield Armory Squad Scout. Y'all be good. Be good to each other. Don't be monsters. Thank you for watching.